Hello, everybody. This is Michael James with the Noggin Podcast. We are in episode number 9, and today we have a special guest, Regina Bergman of Bridgeport Strategy. We have connected over LinkedIn or Facebook a few years ago. We're going to find out live. And it's interesting. I've connected with a lot of coaches, consultants, and strategist over the years, and I really love your energy, the way that you approach your business, and I'd love to have you introduce yourself, your business, and kind of what you're focused on right now.
Oh, thank you, Michael. It's a pleasure to be here today, and I love your comment about energy, because I think we share that energy, and that I don't think there's a time that we're not together that we don't have just these big smiles on our faces.
Definitely,
and a lot of laughter, which is that's. I figure if I'm doing a podcast and we don't laugh at least once, it was an epic failure, right?
Yeah. Won't be a very fun one to rewatch, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. So I think we met on LinkedIn, actually.
I think so
too. Not sure exactly what brought us together. It's so exciting how these relationships evolve. And pretty soon it's just like, well, I don't know. We've just known each other for a while, and So I am Regina Bergman, and I am the CEO and co-founder of Bridgeport Strategy. I say co-founder. I no longer have a partner in the business. He left a couple of years ago to go back into the ministry, and so, but I did have a partner when I started this business. And I am a profit acceleration specialist and exit strategy coach. So I help folks find more profit in their business and structure their business in such a way that when they're ready to go on to their next adventure, they actually have a business they can sell. 95% of businesses aren't built to sell. And so, it's so sad. Yeah, really. And so I help people build that solid foundation. And in the process, they get to recover things like their time and reduce their stress load and renew relationships. How tough being an entrepreneur is. It's hard on relationships, right?
It's hard on yourself and everybody around you.
And everybody around you when things aren't going well.
Relationships for sure. So.
And when things aren't going well, if you're stressed about your business and things aren't happening the way that you want them to, we often take that stress home. So I look at part of my job as actually helping that home front as well as we create a business. I've lived by a motto for a few years of save a business, save a family.
Yep. Because as you know, the last year and a half with COVID, everybody's working at home, and now most families are remote. So that's got to be a huge helping hand with your customers and clients.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so for the last 2 years, what has been really effective, and what have you had some fun with?
Oh, good question. So we'll start kind of with the fun. Actually encompasses both areas. I was going to say let's start with the fun and then go to effective, but
Please.
The fun actually, they're kind of tied together. One of the things that has come about in my business, I'm partnered with a firm out of Canada that provides a lot of services for me that allow me to do a better job of serving my clientele. And one of the things that they have developed over the years is a proprietary software that allows me to go and sit down with any business owner and in 45 minutes find $100,000 of additional revenue in their business.
Awesome.
That's fun.
That would be really cool.
And that's effective.
It's like the live cash register.
Yeah.
Cha-ching.
Sometimes it's $350,000 or, some other number. It depends on that business. But we're able to take a look at 40 different areas in their business, and through a series of questions and through the algorithms in the software, there's over almost 500,000 algorithmic sequences in the software.
No kidding. That's amazing.
I can't even fathom what that means,
Yeah, that's really cool.
But what I know that it means is that it allows me to really zone in and find that profit, revenue, and additional value in their business. Because remember, I want them to be able to sell that business when they're ready to move on to their next adventure, whatever that is. And so we need to show them where the value is in their business as well. And so we're able to give them some ballpark figures on their current value, as well as what each of these improvements will do to their value. And they're able to see that on the screen as we go through. Wow. It's live, it's real, and it's powerful, exciting, fun, all of the above.
Very effective for the client to be seeing that live, and you know, it's got to be pretty motivating for them to do something. I would assume.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we're able to show them
table,
yeah, exactly, that you're walking away from.
Yeah.
And we're able to plug in what I'm able to plug in what my fees would be for that, so they can actually see their return on investment and see that they're getting 300, 400, 500% return on their investment. You can't go get that in the stock market every day. No. You definitely don't get that at your bank with your savings account.
Nope. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not that I've heard of.
Well, it never was that high anyway.
Yeah.
You were lucky if it was 5 or 10%, that kind of a thing. Now it's nowhere near that. So that's one thing. That's a big thing for me.
That's huge.
And the other thing, two things I want to share with you. I'm helping entrepreneurs through COVID. One thing I'm doing right now is that I have a revenue recovery challenge on. And so it's to recover $50,000 to $75,000, $50,000 to $75,000 of lost revenue due to COVID. Oh. And I have a $5,000 grant, again, through this company and other coaches that have combined together to create these grants. So someone can apply for the grant. The grant does not have to be repaid. The grant pays for those services of mine to actually sit down with them, find that $50,000, $75,000, whatever. It's probably going to be over $100,000 in their business. And I'm going to work with them for 4 months. We're going to interview them on my podcast, Pursuing Profit with Principles, 3 times. So we're going to interview them at the beginning, where they're at, what's happened to them, what COVID did to them.
Oh, cool. Unfortunately.
And then we'll bring them back halfway through. What progress have they made? And then we'll bring them back in 120 days total and what happened in their business. So they get to shine not only a light on their own business, but they get to shine a light on to other entrepreneurs. You don't have to sit there and suffer. There are solutions. Wow. If you've been hurt by COVID, there's opportunities for you to recover from that much faster. And so it's a 120-day program that I'm super excited about. And we get, as I say, we get to shine the light on their business. And, you know, if they want coaching, that's great. We can talk about coaching, but there are coaching elements built into it. There's some accountability calls. There's we're going to give them a roadmap of what came out of our 45 minutes together. We'll supply them with a roadmap of how to go about accessing that money in their business. Wow. And then we'll be there to support them.
When does that application process close? Because maybe I could help you, kind of share that a little bit.
Oh, that would be awesome. And actually, I haven't put a close date on it yet. And it is a rolling thing. So if someone signs up today, they've got 120 days. If they sign up next month, they've still got 120 days.
Oh, okay.
While we're battling COVID and businesses are struggling, I'm going to keep it going for a while. We'll see, awesome. If it kind of peters out at some point, then we'll call a stop to it or, something else. So that's one thing that we're doing to help entrepreneurs. Another thing that we're doing is we know so many people who are out of work, either their job let go of them or they let go of their job, one or the other, right? Yeah. And they're thinking about entrepreneurship, but they don't know what to do. I have a partner in London that we've come together and we're creating a business incubator. It's called Escape the Corporate Rat Race, Ditch the 9 to 5 Business Incubator. We have 26 workshops, hands-on workshops. We've got about somewhere between 15 and 20 presenters that are teaching these workshops. And we're taking them from foundation to implementation. We've built time into the schedule for them to actually work on it in the arena while we're there. Wow. So that we're there to answer questions for them. That we've got breakout sessions built in with the teachers, the vendors, the sponsors, all of that, so they can go pick people's brains. But it's going to start with, what's your vision? What's your mission? What's going to be the name of your business? What's your superpower and how do you combine that with your business? Who are you going to serve? How are you going to serve them? Is it going to be a product or a service? And what should it be? And how do you research that? And we're going to actually do research live on that, what they need to be doing. And we're going to take them through money management, mindset. We have 3 themes, really. The first day is mindset. Day 2 and 3 are foundational. They're both about building elements of the foundation of your business, because remember, that's what we want, is people who have a solid foundation, right? And then day 4 is implementation of everything that we've taught up to that point. Now it gets really exciting. You want to hear the really exciting part?
Please.
Okay. We've built in a contest. Now it is an upsell for them to get into the contest, but we have a panel of 5 judges who will judge their process that they've built over this 4-day period. And like I said, we're giving them time to work on it during the workshops. They'll have time to work on it. Time set aside for that. And then they'll submit a written and a written list of what they're building in their business and a short video. And then we'll filter those out down to the top 5 to 10 that our 5-panel judges will be reviewing. And that winner of that will take home a prize that's worth at least $20,000. We're still working on donations to the prize, so we would love to have you donate.
Awesome. Cool.
But they'll take away a prize that I'm hoping that we get it closer to 50,000 actually, is what my goal is. But anyway, so we're gathering prizes for that. And so it's going to be awesome to see them working on that and walking away with a big part of their foundation built. We've got salespeople, we've got marketing people, we've got mindset people, we've got money managers, we've got, we tried to think of everything that would be
You've really
necessary.
Pulled in the talent pool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We've got some great folks in there.
Cool. And is this national, international?
It's international,
okay.
And it's free. There are some upsells, but the event itself is free.
Awesome.
We have 3 upsells. The first one is a VIP session with the 2 co-founders, myself and Brenda, and that will be plus the recordings. They'll get the recordings and a VIP session. That's our first upsell. The second upsell is the contest itself, and then the third upsell is the combination of all of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how much would it be for, say, a business or someone to join that contest or enter that?
The contest itself is $397.
Okay.
And with the opportunity to walk away with somewhere between $20,000 and $50,000 worth of prizes, but even more importantly, you have your foundation laid out.
This is for the idea people, the people coming out of corporate, or they don't have a job, or they're thinking of starting their business. This would be the event for them.
Yes.
Send me that link. Let's
all right,
stay in
we'll
touch
do.
on that one. That sounds awesome. Good for you. That's awesome, Regina.
Thank you. This
cool.
has been in the works for probably 9 months at least.
Wow,
we've been working on this, and due to different things, it's gotten pushed back. And so we're finally here. So that's occurring October. We're doing a live cast the week of October the 18th with all of the speakers and the judges and some of the sponsors and all. We'll have them in a live cast all of that week. And then the event starts on the 25th, which is a Tuesday. And we go Tuesday through Friday with the classes. And then we come back Saturday for a couple of hours for wrap up and announcing the winner of the contest.
Very cool. That's a very good idea.
Yeah, super excited about it.
Yeah, I'll be chatting with you afterwards
about
how that'll be marketed and stuff. I have got a couple ideas for that.
Woo! I love it.
Because there's so many articles right now and so much content on people leaving the workplace. I mean, it's millions of people looking to exit corporate America right now. So interesting.
Yeah, and that's worldwide. It's not just America.
Oh no, it's
worldwide.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Well, very cool. That'll be great timing then, right before this fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, that's very cool. What do you have anything else kind of coming up in the this upcoming year? Do you have anything past that, or
big
events, there's big services, anything of that nature?
One of the things that I've done this year that from a philanthropic perspective is I've partnered with a end of life coach. She's a reverend, an end of life coach. She is I've lost the term, first responder coach, a grief coach for first responders.
Interesting.
Because, they deal with a lot of grief themselves. So she and I have partnered together on some grief programs to support people with grief. We have a Facebook group called For Goodness Grief. We do a live every Wednesday morning in there. We have a membership site that they can take advantage of. We've got some things in the membership site. There's an app they can put on their phone for that membership site. And then there's some upsell possibilities for them that they can upgrade if they want some other things. But just trying to support people who are going through the grieving process for whatever reason, whether that's from COVID, loss of a spouse, loss of a child, divorce. There's so many, loss of a pet. There's so many reasons that people grieve and often don't know how to get through that.
Yep.
And so Lee and I have both been through major grief experiences in our lives. Plus, as I say, she's a trained reverend and grief coach. And so that's kind of the philanthropic area that I'm working in at the moment as well, is just being able to support that community.
Interesting. That's very cool.
Thank you. And I have a book coming out on it, but it's on grief.
Awesome.
But we're not quite ready to the published stage. We're still in editing.
And that would be physical, like printed, or would that be digital?
It'll be Amazon. It'll be on
Okay.
Amazon.
Amazon. Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. And do you have a timeline on when that would be out?
That I would hope that within the next month I can get that published. It's been a while. It's written. I've had it in the hands of an editor. They've given it back to me with their comments, and it's just a matter of my getting all of that touched up and then getting it formatted. And then we're ready to go and start to market it. And would love to take that one to bestseller status like my marriage book. My books cover a wide range of things.
Yeah, but also very universally, it's huge in the marketplace, like for any family at the moment. So it sounds like, wow, very good. Good timing. I hope that does hit the bestsellers list. Let's see how we can push.
We'll be working on that.
Cool. Absolutely. Very
and then
cool.
I guess the other things, I am rebranding a series of books to flow with my podcast, which, as I mentioned, is Pursuing Profit with Principles.
Yeah.
And so I have a series of 5 books. 2 of them are published, and then the other 3 are in the works. They are written but not published yet. So anyway, we're branding that as a series under the Pursuing Profit with Principles label.
Wow, you've been busy.
So we've been busy, yes.
So the written books, are they different than the podcasts, or is it translated?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
They are business books. So, one of them is the principles that I use to find that $100,000 in 45 minutes. So, 8 areas that are really critical to that. And then also another one is generating cash flow quickly. How to do that,
needs,
which we all need, right?
Yep.
And then the
get
other
a few
3,
calls of that a week.
So then there's one on digital marketing, and I can't remember what the other 2 are at the moment. But anyway, cool. So a series of 5 books that we'll be putting out on under that label of Pursuing Profit with Principles.
Awesome.
Oh, there is one thing I haven't shared with you.
Yeah, what's that?
Well, I now have an E360 TV show that is also Pursuing Profit with Principles.
Oh, you do? Awesome.
I do, yes. So
cool.
that is on
That's
every
huge.
Monday morning at 8 o'clock.
Awesome.
And it's on Roku, and it's also broadcast on Facebook and YouTube.
Cool. Send me the info on that. That's awesome.
Okay.
Very cool. Awesome. Congratulations.
And
That's
it
big.
is different than the podcast. We do different
Cool.
topics there than what we do on the podcast. It's a different format and different. It's about a 30-minute show.
Now, the Pursuing Profits, have I been a guest on that one, or is that?
I think so. I think
Okay.
so. Yeah.
All right.
That's
I know we did some filming at one point. So I was
yeah.
curious
That
on-
was Pursuing Profit with Principles. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's been a lot of fun to do. I have thoroughly enjoyed doing the podcast.
And how long have you been doing your podcast then?
I started actually this year, between January and March, somewhere in there. I was attempting to start sooner than that and realized I wasn't quite ready and needed to learn more. And
it takes a lot of time, doesn't it?
It does take time, and it's easy to get behind in your published publications. And I am behind in getting them out there. I'll
Now,
just tell you, I don't have anything to do with the TV side. That's all done for me. All I have to do is show up and do the content, and everything else is done.
that's really cool. Now you're
And I have somebody
producing
that's
your own, and then you've got this new TV side. So
right.
kind of go into conversation on that for a moment, if you don't mind, or if you can.
Of the differences, or the
like what you can share. Like, so how does the filming of the TV get done versus you're filming it with like when you and I did it back,
sure,
a couple months back.
Yeah. And I've gotten a lot better at my filming, and so that I have less technical work to do. But I do mine on Zoom as you're doing here for my podcast. And then we do the TV show on, what is the name of that other program? I always struggle to remember the name of it. Crazy. Anyway, it's similar to Zoom.
Is it an aggregator to like these Rokus and all this? Because I actually have this on the smart TV over here. So
and I know nothing about the publishing side. All I know is what I do where I show up and do my thing.
Awesome. So do you go to a studio or something?
Nope. Or do it all right here from the house. Why can I not think of the name of that? Give me 2 seconds and I'll tell you what the name of that is.
That's really nice.
That's terrible. For some reason, that one always eludes me, and it just will not lock into my data bank.
No worries. I mean, we all use a few services, don't we?
We do.
Solid number.
So, I'll have it for you in just a second here, and you're going to laugh when you hear it because you know it. I know you know it. Okay, for some reason, it's loading slowly. But anyway, I just show up on that one. I don't have to do anything technical. I just show up and they handle everything else.
Wow. And how did that one come about for you? Did you get approached or?
I did. I did. I was approached by a lady that I've done some other things with, and awesome. It's her show. And here we go. Almost there. There we go. Okay. For some reason, it's moving very slowly.
The internet has been a little slow up here today for some reason.
Has it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just...
It feels like 20% slower than normal.
Yeah. I think it's... Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's being
the
very...
clouds or the wind or something.
Yeah, that's something. StreamYard. I knew we'd get there. StreamYard.
Okay.
Yes.
StreamYard, gotcha.
StreamYard. So I just show up on StreamYard and they do everything else, awesome. Make the commercials and all of that. Cool. And so it's been wonderful. Barbara Beckley, it's her show, Barbara Beckley. And so she, I have 30 minutes on her platform. So.
And then, do you bring on guests or how does that?
I do sometimes. Sometimes it's just a monologue, and sometimes I bring on guests and we chat about things. And one of the things that's coming up next month is the Chamber of Commerce Week. So I'm going to work at getting some Chamber of Commerce folks to come on and talk about Chamber, because I think the chambers can play a huge role in the success of small businesses. I've spoken to a few national chamber, or not national, state chamber executive associations about how they can serve entrepreneurs better, because I think that's an area that they need help in, and so I'd love to have some of those folks come on and talk about chamber and what the chamber can do for small business. Totally. Because it's a community effort, right?
Oh yeah. It's huge.
Takes a village.
Yeah, it's many villages.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been speaking with the National Chamber and then like SBDCs in every state and city, and then we've been, very involved with the SBA this year from a national standpoint. We did our first and second round PPPs and, really helped those small business owners save a lot of time, have access to more capital so they could, grow and not go backwards during COVID. And so that was very noticeable to us, the referrals and just time management saved and just hassle and stress, right? And that leads to family and employees when they go
Absolutely.
back to work and everything else. So
Yeah,
quality of life is a big thing, and helping
it
in
is
any way
indeed.
possible is
Yeah,
extremely crucial
yeah,
nowadays. So
yeah. We all have to be there for each other, and
yeah.
I think there's,
The chambers
one.
are a great community, locally, regionally. I've been to, just in not Wash, but Bellingham. There's Bellingham, Ferndale, Linden, Birch Bay, Blaine. There's 6 or 8 within a 40-minute
Right,
drive here, and it's really cool to go and meet a lot of those business owners in those different
right.
groups.
And
So,
the challenge, a lot of chambers have gone out of business in the last several years.
yep.
I mean, literally closed the doors. And so helping them create that synergistic relationship with those local business owners, because one of the challenges is that the business owner today, the new entrepreneur, doesn't necessarily see a value in chamber membership. And so,
Yeah, yeah.
it's like, what do you have to offer me? And that doesn't necessarily mean new entrepreneurs either. A friend of mine owns
It's
a
existing.
multi-million-dollar business, and he went to lunch with a chamber exec one day. They took him to lunch, kind of a thing, and he said, "What do you have to offer me?" There wasn't anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as we can work with chambers, and I love that you're working with chambers, as we can do that, we can help shed the light on how they can serve those entrepreneurs better.
Yep.
You know, I'm trying to remember the statistics. Of the 28 million businesses that are tracked by like the SBA or whatever that entity is that does that, 98.7% of them are small businesses, small to micro businesses. And something like 95% of those are micro businesses.
Wow.
They have to figure out how to serve them.
Yeah. Wow.
They've got to
That's a
figure out
big
how
number.
to serve them. It is. It's huge.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
and
so-
everybody thinks they can just start a business and grow it off of Facebook, and you know the story.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's what I'm against every single hour of the day.
Yeah.
Every single client thinks they have some $1 million marketer in house, or their cousin can build their website and save them
Yeah.
all this money. And I was like, has that cousin built hundreds of websites? Has anyone relied on the revenue off one of those websites to like grow the
Right.
business and pay their revenue and their income and all their employees' income? And so then you ask literally 3 questions and it stops those tracks, and then you have a totally different quality of service.
Exactly.
And so like for your coaching and consulting and asking that right questions, and then your software, you're able to find those opportunities involved.
Right.
So
And then create a roadmap for them.
imagine
to
you
achieve
actually
it.
save, say you saved me $100,000. Imagine how I could utilize that towards marketing, advertising. I'd make
Absolutely.
10x at least off of that
Yeah.
in return.
Exactly.
You know me with $1, so it'd be pretty dangerous. Watch what Mike can do. So don't watch me start another CRM with another few companies. So I will.
Did you ever see the Mikey commercials, the cereal commercials years ago? I don't know if you've ever seen one of those. But there was
Maybe
a cereal, or there was, I can't remember. I think it was a cereal. But anyway, the kids are all sitting around the table, and if Mikey liked it, because Mikey hated everything. So if Mikey liked it, it was good.
That's funny. My mom would probably say something similar in that fashion. So pass
if
the Michael
Mikey's gonna
test, it was
invest in
good.
it's good.
Yeah. That's really funny. I've had conversations with people in similar regards.
I'll have to look for those commercials and send you one.
Yeah, a lot of people trust me in the marketing realm and certain operations things for sure, because we save face with a lot. I mean, most people call us because their business is going down when we're starting, and we usually stop the bleeding, put on a band-aid, and then
There you go. Absolutely. Doing good work, sir.
So thank you. And so let me ask you, Regina, as you're working in the exit strategy with some of your customers in the consulting space, what does that look like? Do you help find buyers? Do you work with M&A companies or private private equity, or how does that kind of work? It
it's
just kind of
more
tickled my
about,
mind a little bit.
Yeah, no, for me at the moment, it's more about making sure that they understand how to build that company and helping them build it.
Yeah.
But one thing I do like to do is to reach out to those brokers and say, hey, have you got some folks that you can't sell for? Let me help you turn around their business, help them turn around their business.
Yes.
So you can sell it for them in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Okay.
So absolutely love those opportunities, because people are coming to them that they can't help. They literally turn away 95% of the calls that they get. There's nothing they can do for them.
Yep.
And it's so sad.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be that way. There was a study in California a few years ago. Can't remember the name of the organization that did it, but they had offered various services to the local entrepreneurs. And, you know, there's like a 95% ultimate failure rate of small businesses, we'll put it that way. They turned that around to an 80% success rate by providing the services and the knowledge that these entrepreneurs needed. From 95% failure to 80% success. So we know when they get the resources they need, they can succeed.
They win.
And then think about that trickle up effect, if you will. Okay, so we talked about the trickle down a bit to the family, but now let's start trickling up. What happens in that community? What happens in that region, that state, in the national level by these guys succeeding now instead of failing? Turn it around completely.
Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, the opportunity of what happens when one door opens versus one door closes, right? I mean, hundreds of people walk in that door. I mean, it's amazing to see. So, wow.
I get pretty passionate about this subject.
No, it's really huge.
Tell.
Like, so this is really funny. I've been building out my Google reviews. Like, I go into a restaurant, I go into a dentist shop, I go into an auto repair shop, whatever, coffee shop, whatever I'm doing. And I do a nice little photo, I'll do a video, and then I'll do a nice little review.
Excellent.
Get this, one of my favorite little sushi places, Google sent me a post here, and they said, hey Michael, one of your reviews got that restaurant 50,000 views off of your review.
Wow.
So what does that mean for that restaurant?
Oh yeah.
There's only 90,000 people that live in this town when it's fully lit, packed with people. And so I was like, you start extrapolating that. What is, like how many more sushi rolls, how many more higher ticket, items, right? Like how many more people did it bring in the store? For you pulling out the extra 100,000, like how are people able to pivot and strategize differently instead of being like contrived and like fearful of like, we're losing money. Now they have an opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool.
It's so exciting when we can make an impact.
Yeah.
And, I don't know about you, but for me, the biggest part of that is being part of the ripple effect. So you're now part of the ripple effect of that restaurant, of what they're going to be able to do, because you took a moment to create that review. It didn't take you long, right?
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Maybe 3.
Mean, that's such a small investment.
Was worth it.
But it's such a small investment of your time and energy to do that. And we can all do that for one another.
Oh, yeah.
But then that ripple effect, as we impact someone and they go out and impact the world, you've had a part in that. And that's just one of the greatest feelings on planet Earth from my perspective.
And imagine any other person that offers sushi in town, any other review, say even the next one gets even half that one review that mine does. As you know how Google works, it's a 2-time, it's a 1 by 1 by
right.
That's gonna get twice as many hits and tumbles down the road now that it's started to grab traction. So like for anyone else to get a sushi review over that, it's gonna take a bit of work. Yeah. Just in that one regard. But say that you do that for the dentist and the coffee shop and the bank and the tire guy and anyone else you work with, your mortgage lender, your banker, all these things, right? So yeah. So then I started looking at my phone over the last year, and I was like, look at all the places I could send a picture and a review, and
there you go.
So anyways, little ways, and what I did is I turned it into a service where I make, over $1,000 a month in doing reviews and social media management for companies.
Excellent.
On top of what we already do. But for local small businesses, COVID or not, if they can afford $100 a month, just buy me dinner and I'll come and do some reviews for you, right?
There you go.
You never know what that one review might do. So just as an example. So just to have more fun with what we do.
You got to enjoy what you do, right?
Yeah. Now as someone that enjoys what you do, you're having a lot of fun. What is Regina looking to do in the next year, 2 years? Is there anything that's like you're looking to chew on and get excited about? What wakes you up in the morning for the future, kind of?
Yeah, literally what we talked about a moment ago about the ripple effect is what keeps me going, despite, we know that entrepreneur and folks, if you're listening to this and you're thinking, I'm going to run out and start a business because they're having so much fun, I want to have this fun. We do have fun, but it's work and it's so ups and it's downs. And it's, you have to have that, to be quote a cliche, you have to have that why of what you're doing, why you're doing what you're doing. And that gets you up in the morning. And for me, it truly is that ripple effect. It's that opportunity to make an impact. To, I was talking to a client yesterday, and she was sharing. We were thinking back to when we met, kind of like you and I were at the beginning of this conversation, and she was sharing what a difference our relationship, my coaching, had made in her life.
Awesome.
And how it had saved her, kind of a thing. And she literally had tears, and I said, transformational. And she said, oh no, it goes way beyond transformation. And it's that. It's
you're almost like reigniting the life purpose in a way. Yeah, right? You're reigniting the candle, Regina.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And that's what keeps me going. So just more of the same, actually.
Imagine how many people need the Bic lighter, so to speak, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So for you to, what size businesses, say I was to refer you some future clients where you're able to find these profit margins for these folks, what types of businesses have worked well for you? How much are they making a month or a year that I could refer you in this space?
So literally, what I do works in any industry, pretty much.
Yeah.
But to find that 100,000, that person should be generating revenue of at least 100,000, preferably. My ideal client is $1 million and below in their annual revenue. At this moment, later on we might go on up that ladder a bit more. But for right now, I'd really like to help those that are $1 million and below.
Wow. And so that's a lot of America.
A lot of America and the world.
Where do you get most of your referrals currently, or how do people find you?
So there's a few ways. LinkedIn has been a good source of referrals for me, and good connections, like yourself.
By the way, everybody, Regina's a powerhouse on Facebook. She has a huge Facebook group. She's very big on LinkedIn. Check her out. We're going to have all of her details in the description below. So
thank you. And that's what I was going to say. The Facebook group is another thing, and it's called Entrepreneurial Leaders Making a Difference.
Cool.
Because that's who I want to work with, right? I want them, and that's why pursuing profit with principles, that principle piece is in there, because that's leadership, right?
Totally.
And so, and we're all making a difference, hopefully.
Oh, it's amazing the support I see in the comments, and everything is so positive. It's really cool. I love it.
It's been a joy. It really has. And the friendships, I know that they say if you're a coach, you shouldn't be a friend with your clients, right? But the friendships that I've made in coaching have been phenomenal. And people who started out as clients are now colleagues, and we're doing things together. Brenda Nabelli from London that I'm doing this event with, she started out as a client, and now we're working together.
Wow.
Cool. That's
transformation.
That's just the best. Transformation. Absolutely.
We
learn from each other.
We're all dancing around that a little bit. So it's how much we allow in, and what we attract, right? Like, if we set certain intentions. So
Yep. Absolutely.
It seems like Regina's a pretty busy gal, so you're setting a lot of intentions and you're attracting a lot of the right people to work with you and partner with you on these events and these endeavors and these opportunities you're creating for people. So that's pretty cool.
And as you can tell,
you sound like a powerhouse in your space.
Thank you. As you can tell by the fact that we're doing this event with just brand new people who are looking at going into entrepreneurship. And then I told you my ideal client is that, $100,000, $1 million range, so there's obviously a lot we can do for that, for those folks who are just starting as well. But they tend to be more the event kinds of things, those kinds of things, as opposed to coaching, because they're, or classes that I can give, courses, those kinds of things, because they're not ready economically, generally speaking, for one-on-one coaching, but I do have some really good group coaching programs as well that I can put them in at a lower rate. And we have some amazing folks in our group coaching. I actually have a few ideas on that. I'll have to speak with you after about that as well, because that would be hugely beneficial for some people. So the Facebook groups have grown so much since COVID. As you know, Instagram and LinkedIn, and the way that the messaging and the indexing and structure of Instagram and LinkedIn has changed a lot. The groups on LinkedIn is basically non-existent in a way. I think you're right.
And so Facebook has really popped off again, and every group that I'm a part of it's exploding. So I would say keep that ball rolling and see, how much energy, involvement, education you can provide. Cause you've got that dialed. It's pretty fun to see you, and for someone in your space, your age, your skill set, you definitely have a very unique presence and aura about you. And it's extremely fun to talk with you, and a lot of people, you really enjoy what you do. I can feel that.
Oh, I do, 100%.
It's really obvious. So very, very grateful for that, and it's fun to have people on the podcast like that. And we I think we'll kind of wrap it up here. I really appreciate your time today for Regina Bergman being on the Noggin Podcast with us today for episode number 9, I believe. And we're bringing on more guests, more different industry experts, people that are trying to launch ideas. And the whole idea of the Noggin Podcast, Regina, is to take ideas, get them into the world, which you are clearly doing. You're getting your events, you're creating these partnerships and these very powerful opportunities for new business owners or current entrepreneurs that are making, anywhere from $100 to $1 million. So hats off to you. And thank you for being on the episode today.
Thanks for having me here. This has been fun.
I'm glad.
I have fun every time we get together.
We'll definitely have you on one of the future seasons here. This is our first season, and we're going to be kind of adjusting as we go and just keeping it super fun and casual. So,
well, congratulations on having your podcast. It's an exciting adventure.
Yeah, we just started it August 1st, and we're going to keep it rolling. I really enjoy it. It's a great format for me to just kind of chill and have some fun.
There you go.
Thanks for your time, and we will be chatting with you again very soon. Thanks, Regina.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Thanks.